Chapter 10. Tom had become a real hero. He did not go running and jumping, but moved slowly, as a pirate should do in public places. He tried not to seem to see the looks, or hear their words, of the people he met on his way to school. But he liked to be in the center of attention. Smaller boys than himself followed him. They were proud to be seen with him. Boys of his own size pretended not to know that he had been away at all, but they envied him. At school, the children admired him and Joe so much that the two heroes began to tell about their adventures to hungry listeners. But they only began. This thing didn't seem to have an end, with imagination they had. Tom decided that he could be independent of Becky Thatcher. He was a hero now. That was enough. Maybe she will want to make it up. Well, let her. She should see that he could be as indifferent as some other people. Finally, she arrived. Tom pretended not to see her. He moved away and joined a group of boys and girls and began to talk. Soon he saw that she was running around with a happy face and dancing eyes, and she seemed to look in his direction from time to time, too. Tom liked it, but he was not going to make the first step, and finally decided to ignore her. Then she saw that Tom was talking more to Amy Lawrence than to anyone else. It was too much for Becky. She felt worried and hurt at once. She tried to go away, but her feet carried her to Tom's group instead. She said to a girl next to Tom, "Mary Austin, you bad girl, why didn't you come to school yesterday?" "I did come. Didn't you see me?" "I saw you." "Did you? It's funny I didn't see you. I wanted to tell you about the picnic." "Oh, that's nice. Who's going to give it?" "My mother's going to let me have one." "Oh, I hope she'll let me come." "Well, she will. The picnic's for me. She'll let anybody come that I want, and I want you." "That's so nice. When is it going to be?" "Very soon." "Oh, it will be such fun. Are you going to invite all the girls and boys?" "Yes, everyone who is a friend to me, or wants to be." And she looked at Tom, but he was telling Amy Lawrence about the terrible storm on the island. "Oh, may I come?" said Grace Miller. "Yes." "And me?" said Sally Rogers. "Yes." "And me too," said Susie Harper. "And Joe?" "Yes." And so on. Finally, she invited all the group except Tom and Amy. Then Tom turned coldly away, still talking, and took Amy with him. Becky's lips trembled and tears came to her eyes. She tried not to show them and went on talking, but she was unhappy, and she no longer liked the idea of having a picnic. So she got away as soon as she could. Then she sat alone till the bell rang. She got up and said she knew what she'd do. Tom continued to flirt with Amy, very satisfied with himself. Then he saw Becky again. She was sitting on a little bench behind the school, looking at a picture book with Alfred Temple. He was that well-dressed boy whom he had beaten before. Their heads were so close together over the book that they did not seem to see anything in the world. Tom was jealous. He began to hate himself for throwing away the chance to make it up with Becky. He called himself a fool, and all the hard names he could think of. He wanted to cry. Amy talked happily as they walked, because her heart was singing. But Tom could not say a word. He did not hear what Amy was saying, and every time she stopped, he could only say yes or no. He kept looking at the back of the school again and again. He could not help it. Becky Thatcher saw this. and she knew she was winning her fight, too, and was glad to see him suffer as she had suffered. Finally, Tom got tired of Amy's happiness. Tom said that he had important things to do. She said she would wait for him after the lessons, and he went away, hating her for it. Any other boy, Tom thought. Any boy in the whole town but that St. Louis fellow that thinks he has fine clothes and is aristocracy. Oh, all right, I beat you the first day you came to this town, mister, and I'll beat you again. Just wait till I catch you out. I'll just take and... Tom left school at noon. He could no longer listen to Happy Amy, and he was too jealous to watch Becky. She was still looking at the picture book with Alfred. But finally, she realized that Tom was nowhere to be seen. Then she lost all interest in the book and in Alfred's words, got up and walked away. Alfred followed her and was going to talk to her, but she said, "Go away and leave me alone. I hate these pictures, and I hate you." Alfred stopped. The boy did not know what he had done. Then he went thinking into the empty class. He was angry. He realized that the girl had simply used him to punish Tom Sawyer. He decided to get that boy into trouble without much risk to himself. He saw Tom's spelling book. Here was his opportunity. He opened the lesson for the afternoon and poured ink upon the page. Becky was walking by the window at that moment and saw Alfred do it. She thought she should go find Tom and tell him. Tom would thank her, and the troubles would be forgotten. But before she was halfway home, however, she changed her mind. She remembered Tom's actions when she was talking about her picnic. She decided that he should be punished for the damaged spelling book. She decided to hate him forever, too. Tom arrived at home in a bad mood, and the first thing his aunt said to him showed that he was not welcome here, too. "Tom, I plan to whip you." "Auntie, what have I done?" "Well, you've done enough. I go to see Sereny Harper, hoping I'm going to make her believe all that nonsense about that dream. And she tells me that she knows from Joe that you were here and heard all the talk we had that night. Tom, I don't know what will become of a boy that does things like that. It makes me feel so bad to think you could let me go to Sereny Harper and make such a fool of myself and never say a word." This thought was new to him. In the morning, all that story seemed to Tom a good joke. But now it looked awful. He dropped his head and could not think of anything to say for a moment. Then he said, "Auntie, I am sorry, but I didn't think." "Oh, child, you never think. You never think of anything but yourself. You could think to come all the way here from Jackson's Island in the night to laugh at our troubles, and you could think to fool me with a lie about a dream. But you couldn't think to be kind to us." "Auntie, I know now it was bad, but I didn't want to be unkind. I didn't, honestly. And I didn't come here to laugh at you that night." "What did you come for, then?" "I wanted to tell you not to worry about us." Tom, I'd be happy to believe you, but you know it never happened. And I know it, Tom. But that's the truth, Auntie." "Oh, Tom, don't lie. Don't do it. It only makes things 100 times worse." "It isn't a lie, Auntie. It's the truth. I wanted to keep you from suffering. That was all that made me come." "I'd give the whole world to believe that, Tom. But why didn't you tell me, child?" "Why, you see, when you started talking about the funeral, I had that idea of our coming and hiding in the church, and nobody could know about it then. So I just put the bark back in my pocket and kept quiet." "What bark?" "The bark I had wrote on to tell you that we'd gone pirating. I put that bark in the pocket and kissed you." The face of the old lady was kinder now. "Did you kiss me, Tom?" "Yes, I did." "Are you sure of it, Tom?" "Yes, Auntie, I am sure." "Why did you kiss me, Tom?" "Because I loved you so, and I was so sorry." The words sounded like truth. The old lady could not hide an emotion in her voice when she said, "Kiss me again, Tom, and go to school now." The moment he left the house, she ran to find the jacket which Tom had gone pirating in. Then she stopped with it in her hand and said to herself, "No, I can't do it. Poor boy. I think he's lied about it, but it's a good lie. But I don't want to find out that it's a lie. I won't look." She put the jacket away. Then she put out her hand to take it again and couldn't do it. Finally, she made herself take the jacket again. A moment later, she was reading Tom's piece of bark through tears and saying, "I can always forgive the boy now."